Global Chamber of Consumer Rights. Just before we start the event, I would be requesting all of you to please mute your respective devices. The whole session is being recorded, and this session will be shared with each and every one of you through Mr. GK, probably by the end of the day today or by tomorrow, so that all of you can actually go ahead and share it with your loved ones and your well-wishers on this honorary program. Good morning and greetings in the name of the Lord. We thank each and every one of you, especially our dignified guests who are here today with us, who have come together to join this first time virtual Global Chamber of Commerce Excellence Awards. I would like to invite the chief guest for our program today, Honorable Justice Huluvadi Ji Ramesh, who is the President of Karnataka State Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission and former Acting Chief Justice of the Madras High Court. And also with him, joining us today, is our special guest, Dr. Shalini Rajneesh, I.A.S, who is the Additional Chief Secretary to the Department of Planning and Youth Empowerment and Sports of Karnataka. We take this beautiful moment and blessed occasion to welcome both of you to our wonderful online program. Following on, the Global Chamber of Commerce has been built on foundations and the insights of the organizers who wanted to bring a beautiful value into the society by understanding the needs of the consumers and making sure that each and every rights of a consumer is completely met and honored in this today's society. We all are consumers. We all have walked that path where we have understood that, hey, sometimes we do not receive the right information. Sometimes we do not receive the right acknowledgement. Sometimes we do not receive the right respect of anything that is being bought in the society. That is when the Global Chamber of Commerce, apologies, I'm just muting someone. That is when the Global Chamber of Commerce comes as a pillar of strength into the society through the patronship of few of the organizers who are present here today, and they wish to bring justice and also provide excellence in awareness throughout the complete session. I hereby introduce the organizers of this wonderful chamber, Mr. Georgie Kochuparikan, who is the Global Chairman of the Global Chamber of Consumer Rights, Mr. Kishore Namdar, who is the National Executive Chairman of the Global Chamber of Consumer Rights, Ms. Geeta Malika Arjunan, the National Council Director of Global Chamber of Consumer Rights, and Lieutenant Colonel Ganga Datta, the National Council Director of Global Chamber of Consumer Rights. We welcome all four of you dignitaries also to this program. Without each one of you, this program would not have been a success and this organization would not have taken place. Thank you and welcome to each one of you. Following on, now we have the welcome address by Mr. Kishore Namdar.
A warm good morning to everyone. On behalf of GCSR, I would personally welcome our chief guest, Honorable Justice Huluvadi Ji Ramesh, President Karnataka State Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission and former Acting Chief Justice of Madras High Court. Also, I would like to personally welcome our special guest, Honorable Dr. Shalini Rajneesh, I.A.S, Additional Chief Secretary to the Department of Planning and Youth Empowerment and Sports, Karnataka. I would also like to welcome our Global Chairman, Shri Georgie Kochuparikan, Global Chairman of Global Chamber of Consumer Rights. With this, I would also like to welcome our dynamic Dr. Sandeep Marwa, founder Noida Film City, President of Marwa Studios, also Chancellor of I.A.S University, National of Media and Entertainment Committee. I also like to welcome Dr. Patnaik, who is the Vice Chancellor of ICFAI University Sikkim and member of Sikkim State Education Reforms Committee. I also invite welcome Dr. Mulchan Nahar, and also would like to welcome Ms. Savita, who is an IPS officer, a versatile writer, an IPS officer by profession, along with Dr. Lata Damle, who is the founder and chief scientific officer of FM. With that, I would also like to welcome my colleague, Mrs. Geeta Mallika and Lieutenant Colonel Gangadatta. On behalf of GCSR, I welcome each individual who has joined us through Zoom call, supporting us and strengthening our unity. Welcome to the first ever event of GCSR.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kishore. Now I request the chairman, Mr. Georgie Kochubarikil, to kindly address the gathering.
Respected Honorable Senior Justice Huluvadi Ramesh, Honorable Additional Chief Secretary Dr. Shalini, Rajneesh, Council Directors of Chamber of Consumers' Rights, awardees, the prominent personalities from various sectors, and our valuable viewers. Global Chamber of Consumer Rights is a registered, non-profitable, and non-governmental organization created to promote, protect, and propagate the interest of consumers. The aim of GCCR is to provide complete awareness and guidance on the rights and privilege of a consumer in our society. We have to provide, educate an organization on how to treat the consumer and teach the employees how about the consumer rights. The main objective of this Chamber of Consumer Rights is to provide maximum awareness to the consumers who utilize the different sectors like medical, education, infrastructure, retail, information and technology, and media and communication, and so on. We are educating consumers to help themselves. We are providing special education to women about consumerism. We are encouraging to follow desirable consumption standards. We are providing consumers with relevant information about the product and services. We also research, monitor, and identify ethical and non-ethical products and services. We are providing prior information to consumers about the authenticity of products and protect them also. Consumer rights and human rights act as the two sides of a coin, of the same coin. No amount of written legislation and acts can protect consumer interests unless they are implemented in letter and spirit. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Georgie. Now moving forward, we would like to welcome our Honorable Chief Guest, Justice Huluvadi G. Ramesh, who is the President of the Karnataka State Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission and the former Acting Chief Justice of the Madras High Court. This man has done exemplary things in his life. Someone who has always played an active role in the society, who has taken keen interest to ensure that consumers are heard, consumers are envisioned, and consumers are always enlightened and given the power to make sure that they have a stand in the society. Such a man is of a noble cause, and he is of a great relevance to us. I hereby request the Honorable Justice to kindly share a few words of his wisdom and address the event. Sir, can you unmute yourself, sir, please, if that's okay? I will unmute you. So you may.
Good morning, everybody. Instead of individually addressing everybody, I would wish to shorten my address without formality. Mr. Kishore, who was the commencement of the inauguration, and Mr. Jarji and other organizers and other participants who are welcome to this function. My experience for nearly 30 years as a judge of the Session Court and the High Court at various High Courts, Allahabad, Madras and Madhya Pradesh and Karnataka, and also as a chairman of the Consumer Forum, and also having presided over the Mediation Center, Madras and Legal Services Authority, and also in the case of the Transport Appellate Tribunal, we have one thing we have to share is that our formal system of court functioning is time consuming, and also with the number of cases which are pending, we have seen throughout, there are no more cases of 1980 and 1981 are pending even in the Allahabad and other high courts. This is very painstaking and also the concern of every individual. That's how central government and the government of India has taken measures to reduce the timing and time consuming, especially the scientific way of dealing with things, especially the Consumer Protection Act that has come into in 1996 at the interest of the government of India informally. But now, two aspects. One is with regard to deficiency of service, and another is the consumer interest. The deficiency of service, whether is there service provided, it is the manufacturer or the service provider whose responsibility is for the individual consumer who has to take care of the things. Second thing is every individual has to be educated to protect the rights, just like human rights and fundamental rights, which is enshrined in the Constitution of India and also in the human rights, universal human rights. It is a duty of every officers and every organization, including non-guested organizations like your SARC and other things. They have been service at the disposal of the public at large. So in 1986, when the Act has commenced, it was with a bare skeleton, but still it has a model to how it has to work out when compared to other old structure of ordinary civil courts. Ordinary civil courts consumes a lot of time, from 20 years to 50 years to dispose of case. Unlike that, this code, consumer court, has been recognized. Consumer courts have been confirmed with the magisterial powers and also contempt of court. There are two hierarchy of courts. Three. One is district forum at the district level, another is the state forum, and third one is the national forum, against which only appeal lies to the Supreme Court on the question of substantial question of law. And now jurisdiction has been conferred up to 1 crore, from 20 lakhs to the district forum, from 1 crore to 10 crores to the state forum, and above that it goes to the national forum. That is one of the peculiar jurisdiction aspect. With regard to jurisdiction, is involved, district forum also can enter to protect and extend the interest of the individuals. One is with regard to deficiency of service by the provider, that is service provider. Second aspect is every individual have every right to argue the matter on their own, or to take the assistance of the advocates to conduct effectively their protect rights. Whenever the Indian Standard Act, whatever the any act provided by various countries, is to protect the consumers, extending to the food aspect, including the medicines, and consumer products, or motor vehicle act, and also even nowadays we have come across the providing the shelter is one of the aspects. Even the private organizations are coming up for providing the house to houseless, and also to the minimum consumer is a man who is like a ration card holder. He must entitled to have one house or one service when he has paid. It should be provided at a reasonable price, which is fixed by the government of India and or by the experts, so that individual rights is protected. Other than that, we have seen now the India is also coming effectively with the government of India's recognition. Now the Contempt of Court Act is provided, which also enables the court, district forums and the High Court, and also the Supreme Court, and more than the Supreme Court, for National Consumer Forum. One level of avoiding the 226 powers exercised by the High Court is avoided. Directly the appeal lies from the State Forum to the National Forum, and only on substantial question of law it will go before the Supreme Court. The way in which the courts are functioning now, we have to educate the people through the legal literacy programs from the colleges and other organizations. Apart from the High Court, courts in India now assisted with the mediation and also with the legal service authority, which we are conducting programs in the village level and the taluka level and the school level, so that by encouraging the public at large and enlightening them, we are creating awareness about their rights and their liabilities also. The service provider has to be cautious, and they have to pay heavy damages if there is any chance of duplication or any standard, the product is not satisfactory. And service provider has to be very careful. And Gandhiji has said, service provider has to be careful, and also consumer are the persons. They are like the people. To entertain them, we have to honor them, we have to respect them. The dealing between the consumer and the service provider at any walk of life throughout the country and throughout the world at large has become a serious concern of every individual. Of course, in the European countries and American countries, we have seen heavy penalty has been paid for having committed a default in extending the service. And so also in India, since we are more conservative and since we are economically very conservative, we are only imposing a minimum penalty when compared to other countries. So now the consumers are becoming aware of these facts. Individually, they are coming up to 1 crore. They can agitate the matter before the district forum and also before the High Court or before the State Consumer Forum. The limitation is from 20 lakhs to 1 crore is recently extended in the 2019 Act by the Government of India from 1 crore to 10 lakhs above. It is up to 10 crores. It has been extended to State Consumer Forum. Added to that, we also have a mediation. Apart from the regular civil courts method, we are appointing a procedure only filing through the affidavit along with some pleadings. It will be met with by objections or counterfiling, and also the evidence has been recorded through the affidavits and counter affidavits, and also it has been so just 2 minutes, I will finish up. And more than anything else, the procedure, summary procedure which we are adopting is enabling us to dispose of more number of cases. Because if we enlighten the public at large with the available timings, we have to have a shortcut methods. That summary inquiry, recording of the evidence through the filing of the affidavit and counter affidavits, and through the question and answers, and also reply also should be very minimal, and people must be able to get a relief within 6 months or maximum 1 year. The long pending of the case also is affecting on the economy of the individual bank borrowers. Most of the cases, especially insurance companies and the banks, are involved. Apart from that, now the builders and the developers who are having a high-stake matters, they are delaying the process because of their commitments. Apart from that, they are investing the amount in the land and other properties, having congregated the amount from the public at large. that is misusing of the public money. That is one of the aspects which is a matter of serious concern. When money is given to a developer, it should be promptly used for the development of the housing projects or any other projects. Instead, they are investing on some other projects, and that's why abusing and misusing the power of the power that is vested with him. The discretion should not be abused. And there are also persons are responsible, like any other government organization, whenever they are being vested with the power of some sense of responsibility should be there. And apart from the government organizations, including government organizations, everyone is responsible to the consumer. The government organization, or even for that matter, the judiciary for that matter, when it has decided in the state policy, judiciary is one of the organ of the state. It is also responsible if any default is committed, including the Supreme Court or the High Court or any other courts. So public awareness is developed. All organs, either judiciary or the executive or the legislature. Of course, we are not dealing with the legislature at most. Now we are dealing only with the executive and the judiciary. Judiciary is responsible to extend the relief to the public at large, speedy justice. This is summary query. Now, this is investment. People are opposing the state consumer forums and district forums more than the civil courts because they think that individually they can conduct the cases. Second, the time consuming is very limited, and also now the penalty power is also given to the district presidents and the High Court, the consumer forums, so that people are getting a faith in the system. Only thing is that we have to create a mediation centers and also legal service authorities through which we can acknowledge and educate the public at large at the grassroots level, like individual talukas and village levels and other things. So now the responsibility is not only of the public at large, even it is just a minute. 1 minute. What we want to say is ultimately government is also responsible. Government organizations are also responsible, including postal departments or any other department which are serving the public at large. The housing board is there, the government to provide extend housing facilities to the public at large. Likewise, the individual developers coming in forward because of the so much of population which we are facing with. Now, the efficiency of quality product. If you buy a medicine, it should be quality. It should be Indian standard. Likewise, other standards are there. Hope that we can discuss on any other seminars on this aspect. I am thanking you for all of you have patient heard me. And especially why this consumer forum is becoming more popular is a concern of the world at large. Because every consumer got a right, and every government and other organizations are got a liability or responsibility to extend the facility. Thank you all.
Thank you, our Honorable Justice. I think it is a privilege, and I think more than a privilege, it is so much of consideration that the Honorable Justice has shared so much of insight on understanding what are the valuable needs and what are the position of a consumer is. I would like to re-quote one of the great wordings of what our father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, said, and particularly in terms of consumers, and we can see it on the footstep of each and every organizations or shops that we enter into our daily needs across India. And exactly as the Honorable Justice said, a customer is the most important visitor on our premises. He is not dependent on us, we are dependent on him. He is not an interruption in our work. He is the purpose of it. He is not an outsider doing in our business, he is a part of it. We are not doing him a favor by serving him. He is doing us a favor by giving us an opportunity to do so. These great words of our father, someone who has brought light into our lives, someone who has always said that the society has to have a consumer and that rights of that consumer has to be upholded in very simplistic ways. Just as how the Honorable Justice has said, this forum or this organization is built on that fundamentals to understand that every consumer, whether he buys a medicine, whether he buys a real estate property, that the hard-earned money that each of them have spent or created during their livelihood is being spent, and there is an organization that can stand and withhold that to make sure that they are honored. That's the most important thing, because looking at a country like India, where consumers are at the largest, we have to be responsible in educating them and making sure their rights are upheld. Honorable Justice, we thank you for those wonderful, wise words that you have shared with us. Following on, I would like to welcome the special guest, Dr. Shalini Rajneesh, I.A.S, who is the Additional Chief Secretary to the Department of Planning and Youth Empowerment and Sports of Karnataka. I would like to invite Madam to share a few words of her insight.
Thank you very much. At the outset, let me thank Global Chamber of Consumer Rights to have given me this opportunity to be part of this program and understand the most useful service that is being rendered to crores of people of the country. Respected Honorable Justice G. Ramesh sir, Chairman of the Global Chamber of Consumer Rights, and all the awardees of today's function, and all the other audience who are there joined with us in the virtual event. I would take this opportunity to share with you a case study of Sakala, Shivaji share it, which is a model of Karnataka and has been recognized even at the national level with the Prime Minister's Award. It's very relevant in today's session, where we look at government providing all the public services to the people in general who have to be treated as consumers, and to whom government, each and every functionary, has to be accountable. So how do we ensure that? How do we institutionalize that their rights are respected, the systems are created, and the accountability is built into it to the satisfaction of our people, which they have as a fundamental right enshrined in our constitution? We look at certain issues as in public service delivery. What are the issues in governance today? What is the policy? What innovations Sakala has made? What were its successful strategies? And what are the transferable lessons to other public services, which, as Honorable Justice Sir said, even judiciary is giving a public service. So each one of us, banks, they're also doing a public service. How can we make it, all encompassing so that citizen benefits from them all? If we look at governance issues today, ask any citizen and he'll say, government is inefficient, they are corrupt, we have grievances, nobody looks at us, nobody values our time, there are delays, complications, and so on and so forth. What can we do to make our governance citizen friendly? As in the initial introduction, it was mentioned that we give right information to the citizen. We give them an acknowledgement for the demand that they have placed. And finally, we give them the respect that, yes, we respect your time, we respect your money, we respect the fact that you are a dignified customer and we need you rather than you needing us. So there are certain issues which are required, certain institutional mechanisms that are required to make it happen. And this is what Sakala has done. I'm very happy to say that this Sakala word was coined by the people. So I therefore call it one act which is leading to many reforms. And it's an innovation of the people, by the people, and for the people. In Kannada, Sakala means in time or good time. And the slogan that the people chose for government servants was no more delays, no more delays, we deliver on time. What are the objectives of this act? We have standardized and simplified citizen service delivery systems and made government more accountable as per the act. We brought in 1,122 public services. This is the highest ever in the entire country. Others are at the range of 400, 500 or so on. We have almost covered most of the services in the government domain, and out of all the departments are having services under Sakala in a phased manner. And the idea is that we specify a time within which the service will be delivered. And if it is not, then the citizen gets compensated for the delay or the default. What is the process? A citizen who needs a service goes to the Sakala counter or through an online format. They place a demand for the service. They get a 15-digit unique ID acknowledgement onto his or her SMS mobile number. And then the service is processed within the time which has been specified under the Act. And finally, much before the due date of delivery, the person gets an SMS saying that your service has been completed. If it is an online service, suppose a birth certificate or a marks sheet, it can be just delivered online also. Otherwise, they can collect it from any of the citizen service centers. Today, where are we? 23 crore people, 230 million services have been already delivered in time by the people since 2012 as it started. And there is 99% of annual average disposal, 1% delayed disposal, 3% rejection of those cases which cannot be done as per the rules and Act, and with due reasons given, the rejections have been given. The biggest advantage of this system that has been built in, one, it is of course an IT system, so no human interface. The second is the public grievance redressal system, wherein we have got a single call center number 080-4455-4455. All that the consumer has to do is that after that acknowledgement number is given and a due date is given, suppose he or she doesn't get it, all that they have to do is call up this number, tell this acknowledgement number, rest every detail is available with the call center, and this simple call becomes an appeal. He doesn't have to go with records, go around, giving applications and so on, meeting people. No, it is a registered appeal online. And there starts another Sakala time frame for the appellate authority as well. So if the prescribed officer was supposed to give it in 10 days, the appellate authority gets a time of 7 to 8 days, and he has to finalize what is the reason for delay, see that if there is a default, he would rectify it, give the service, and if the citizen wants compensation, the compensation will also be given directly to his bank account. He doesn't have to come and take it. So far we've got 1,528 citizens compensated and about 12 lakh such appeals filed through the Sakala call center itself. The basic questions people have in mind, what is it that it has led to? Was it HR, that is the human resource? Was it improved upon? How different departments came onto the single platform, and so many things. What was the employees' involvement and the citizens' awareness role? So we went on to analyze what is this innovation so that it can be replicated by others. The NIC has been a big partner in this online services. We've gone for analytics, big data analytics. We've engaged cyber cafes into this so that they become citizen friendly and non-official human interface platforms. Then we have a single window grievance redressal thing. And then the citizen charter has been enforced. So you just don't announce that this is your right, but you also specify that this is your right, and if you don't get it, this is your redressal. Finally, we went in for, this is the portal, how it looks, and anybody, this is on the public domain, you can all type into sakala.kar.nic.in, and you can see today the figures that I've told you. As on this moment, how many applications received, how many are still pending, and with whom. So everything being so transparent, there is a threat that I'm being watched, therefore I better perform. So that is what has worked as a psychological aid to us. We went in for a third-party evaluation through International Market Research Bureau, and I'm very happy to share the findings. It showed that after the Sakala Service Act was brought in and implementation started, the time taken was considerably reduced, as you can see from the bar charts. They also talked about the different reforms which were, that's why I said it is one act, but many reforms. What happened was, as and when we moved around with these services, their grievance redressal, particularly I would say the grievance redressal, The citizen said, here I'm stuck. Because of this, I did not get. So we went on to the root cause analysis and removed that. One simple example was 60,000 applications for police verification for passport were pending when we started this act. And now within 20 days, you get it online. So the entire process which was there, non-integration between the passport office and the police department, all those things were reformed, and a lot of service delivery efficiencies came in, which was the cause or the call as I started in the beginning. We found the changes in the attitudes of the people who were manning these services or counters. And this is the citizens' response, that they were happy. The officials were polite. Earlier, they were very rude. And they also found that the process was so simple. Only 4 parameters were asked: your name, your mobile number, your address, and the service that you want. And the rest, everything was taken care of by the government record systems and integration of various softwares that we had. The employees, surprisingly, who were supposed to be tightened up for this, also welcomed this to a large extent, because they owned it up. They felt during the change that training that we gave, capacity building that we did, we made them understand how important it is to get into the shoes of the citizen, because tomorrow you are also a citizen and you will also need a service, whether it's your pension or it's your medical bill reimbursement and so on. So they really welcomed it, owned it, and they were happy that their work burden has reduced because of the technology and the procedural reforms that have been made. That is what has probably made it successful and sustainable. Just to analyze, what are the critical success factors? We had committed employees due to the capacity building. We had aware citizens. We had a lot of awareness campaigns for the citizens using all modes. We had the political will, which was very, very important. And finally, the mission mode. Somebody was on their head monitoring every minute, and also in the public domain. Various challenges we did face, and even today we face, but they are the ones which help us learn and improve our services further. So this in a gist are the success factors which can lead to replication across other services. We're looking at improving both the digital literacy and the legal literacy of the people of Karnataka. We are trying to have our NSS volunteers work with the Legal Aid Services Authority of Karnataka, and we'll work out a platform wherein everybody knows what is my right, how can I get it, and if I don't get it, what do I do? So this is the end of my presentation. I feel it's an idea whose time has come, and we need to replicate it. And I seek the collaboration of Global Chamber of Consumer Rights to connect us with all the consumer courts, consumer forums, various people rights organizations, so that it becomes part and parcel of their knowledge, their information sphere, and their action sphere, and makes each one of us, whether I'm here or not, it doesn't matter. It's the institution which has to continue, and it has to be a win-win scenario, both for the citizens as well as the employees. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Shalini. I believe what you have just said has made a tremendous impact to so many things that we've actually thought about. What we understand is that today an organization always works better. But today you have actually shown us that when you inculcate that accountability parameters, and you have used technology to its best, I mean, using MIS records, using large data accountability, you've actually cornered every root cause analysis problems that today our governmental organizations have. So, I mean, people should know that we are taxpayers. When you go to a government organization, that person sitting in front of you, it is not that we have to call them sir, madam, justice, or all the higher authorities, but in fact, they look at the customer and say, or the consumer and say, we are here to serve you. Please, yes, sir, have a seat. And I think that is the most important change that our country should have. And as a youth, I am so honored to see that our India has taken a beautiful step using Sakala. And I think I'm one of those few people who face that wrath of getting a passport of 120 days on a verification. And today, when I know that, you know, a 20-day verification is good, that becomes so much of an accountable entrust, and we've moved so forward. When I saw that findings of the graph findings from what it was and after what Sakala has implemented, what it went down to, it's a 50% reduction in the times. That is phenomenal. Phenomenal because it is a country of crores of people, not a country like UAE or not a country like any other small countries in the world where micromanagement is possible. Today, this is a level of micromanagement that we need to know so that higher authorities do feel accountable, that every person who's stepping into that door has a value, and if he is not served, you are held accountable for it. Madam Dr. Shalini, that has been wonderful, and thank you so much for this beautiful initiative. I believe the GCCR and the members and the founders will be right behind you as a pillar of strength and support to spread this. And I believe let it spread across India. Let this reform spread across India and make that as, I think it should be a proud badge to every consumer. I'm with Sakala and with the GCCR. So if you wanna, if you guys wanna take a ride on me as a consumer, I'm sorry, you're going to be held accountable. And I think that's a great initiative. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now we move forward. It is time that we understand few of the exemplary people in the society who have done wonderful things, who have done honorable things, and who has stepped in as a beacon. And it is quite important for us to go ahead and acknowledge these gentlemen. Mr. Kishore, I believe you're sharing your screen.
No, I think something is wrong.
No problem, sir.
I'm so sorry.
No problem, no problem.
You can continue. I'm so sorry.
No problem, sir.
Something has gone wrong.
No problem. To start our session today in terms of getting the awardees, this is the first time in the entire forum ever happened where a virtual awards is going to be presented in the likeliness of its kind. I would honorably invite Dr. Shalini Rajneesh to please proceed with each of the awardees. The virtual awards, the certificates and the awards will be sent to each of their respective homes to the addresses that is there with Sri Georgie. And I would like to begin right now with that.
I'm presenting the Global Consumers Excellence Awards 2021. And the first winner is Dr. Sandeep Marwa. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Sandeep Marwa, a few words about Dr. Sandeep Marwa. He is a founder of the Noida Film City, president of the Marwa Studios, chancellor of the AAFT University, and the national chairman of the Media and Entertainment Committee of the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Government of India. He is a chief scout for India and a global ambassador for the SDG Chopal of NITI Ayodhya. Sandeep Marwa has taken a chance in the society and has made sure that he has actively kept his PR credentials and made sure that through his media activities and through his active connection with the media and entertainment sector, he has gone ahead and entrusted a lot of youth. And there's a lot of followers for this great man, and a lot of people acknowledge him for the wonderful deeds that he has done. The GCCR is proud to announce this award to this excellent person, Mr. Sandeep Marwa. Please share a few words of enlightenment with us.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much, respected Justice Ramesh, respected Dr. Shalini Rajneesh, dearest Georgie, and member of the Global Chamber of Consumer Rights, all the awardees and dignitaries present here. Let me start with 2 lines. कि सभी दिशाओं से शुभ सुंदर भाव विचार भरे नित अंतर, पुण्य धरा बन जाए स्वर्ग ये, मेरे यत्नों से करुणा कर. Whether it is north, south, east or west, whether you're in India or abroad, whether you're on the top of the hill or you're standing at a seashore, whether you are in a lush green garden and looking at some colorful flowers, or maybe looking at the most beautiful woman on earth. But the fact is there are two things which are much more beautiful than what you can see with your naked eyes. And these two things are your thinking and your feelings. And the best part is that both the things are right within you. On this very auspicious day, let's pray, hey Lord, give me good thinking, give me good feelings so that I can do good deeds. And through my good karmas, I would love to convert this earth into heaven. This is what I believe. And I presume that you will also believe in the same. Well, let me take this wonderful opportunity to extend my heartiest thanks to the Chamber and especially the jury for nominating me for this beautiful and a very prestigious award. I'm thrilled, I'm excited. This has added to my collection of awards. That's very nice. I have always believed that things are not that easy. It's not easy to reach to a station, to a height. But then I have also believed that nothing is impossible if you have strong determination. And to close my today's small little words, I would like to recite two more lines. कि विभासित कर गगन भूतल, तिमिर को ज्योति देता चल, निराशा के अंधेरे को मिटा दे ले प्रबंजन बल. कहीं पूनम अमावस्या, कहीं उलझन, कहीं फिसलन, कहीं कांटे, कहीं पहरा कटिल बंधन. यहाँ प्रतिकूल है सब कुछ, कहीं मरुस्थल, कहीं बादल, मगर तू मुस्कुराता चल, दिशाएं हो उठे उज्जवल, मगर तू मुस्कुराता चल, दिशाएं हो उठे उज्जवल. Thank you very much for everything.
Doctor, that has been great, and it is a great piece of poetry that you've shared with us. For those people who don't understand Hindi, we would request you, Doctor, to just kind of give us a small brief in English what the last few words that you've said, sir.
Well, I have just narrated here that life is not easy and it is full of hindrances. Roads are not simple to the destination. If you have a very strong determination, you can overcome all the problems and you are called winner. I'm very happy that I could create 7 world records in media, and I'm happy that I'm here with you. Thank you very much.
We're very proud and we're very honored to have you in this. So just before we move on to the next person, just would like to formally ask you a question. In terms of consumers, what you have understood as the current situation of India, how would you as a person play an enlightenment role in bringing justice to them, sir? What are your thoughts about that?
If you believe me, I'm in education also side by side. It's been 27 years I'm in education, and trust me, I have always believed, without quoting, my students as my customer. And that's how I have designed and redesigned my whole setup from last 27 years. And when Prime Minister of India wanted to have the film university in this country to back up the biggest film industry of the world, and I'm happy that responsibility has been showered on me, only because they know that we are absolutely customer-oriented organization. Whether it is a Marva Studios, whether it is AFT, my education setup, or even the chamber which I am heading, the International Chamber of Media and Entertainment Industry, we have always given importance to customer, and that's the reason, because if your customer is satisfied, you can sustain yourself into this beautiful world. If your customer is not happy, probably they are the right people who have the right to ask you to close down. And you'll be surprised that more than 100 film schools have tried to copy us in last 27 years. Probably more than 90 have closed down because they have not understood that it's absolutely a very demanding, film and television schools are very demanding, and customers' requirements are abundant. There's so much. If you're not in a position to satisfy your customer, you cannot survive even in this education trade.
If I may take this opportunity, Dr. Marwa,
So,
the media, and especially the visual media, audiovisual media, is so effective that you have 1,000 words on one side and just one template, one audiovisual on another side. It is much more effective. So if we can collaborate for bringing out this right centric approach, the information approach to the people at large with the help of your resources, I think it will be a great favor. Thank you.
Dr. Shalini, I'm absolutely ready. We can sign MOU, and I can promise you instant and immediately coverage, because I'm lucky. I've got a 2 radio station, Radio Noida 107.4 FM, Ministry of INB, which I'm handling, and Radio Raipur. And also we have a mstv.co.in online television station. So whatever you want me to do it, just instruct us and we'll see to it, because it's such a wonderful concept you have developed. I've never seen this before. And simultaneously, probably if you send me a copy of press release on this account, I think I will be able to get it printed in more than 100 websites in a week's time.
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sandeep, and thank you, Dr. Shalini. And I think that association that happened right now is the power of network and power of virtual connection. You know, that is so beautifully done. And I think that association, we bless it. And the Chamber of Commerce, Chamber of Consumer Rights would be absolutely happy to support both of you and making sure that that partnership reaches to the audience in the best way possible. Now, going forward,
the next Global Consumers Excellence Awards 2021 goes to Dr. Jagannath Patnaik. Congratulations.
Dr. Jagannath Patnaik is a distinguished academician, an eminent author, and a renowned management expert, and an effective administrator with a varied experience in education, research, academic administration, and the industry that matters to be the others. Dr. Patnaik has served many reputed educational institutions and universities and established a number of educational institutions in medical, dentistry, engineering, and management, including public schools in the country. Dr. Patnaik is a Vice Chancellor for the ICFAI University, Sikkim, and a member of the Sikkim State Education Reforms Commission. We welcome you, and we are so honored that you have received this Excellence Award. Dr. Jagannath, please share a few words.
Honorable Justice Sri G. Ramesh Ji, Dr. Shalini, Rajneesh, Additional Chief Secretary, Government of Karnataka, Dr. Sandeep Marwa, my friend, who is the Chancellor of AFT and a renowned media and film icon, distinguished guests, all the awardees, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank and congratulate Dr. Judge and all the members of the Global Chamber of Commerce for establishing such a novel forum for creating consumer awareness, and which is now it is felt that consumers are king, and unless and otherwise, if we do not take the initiative for consumers, entire marketplace is going to fraud us. Today, consumer protection is the practice of safeguarding buyers and goods and services, and the public against the practices in the marketplace. Such laws, which are now decided in the Consumer Protection Act and the regulations, are intended to prevent businesses from engaging in fraud or special unfair practices in order to gain an advantage over competitors or to mislead consumers in this time of buyer grievances, and to help the government supplementing the efforts of the government machinery. The Chamber will definitely play a major role in creating awareness among the consumers and also bring fruitful interactions with the government and the Chamber. So I first of all thank everyone who are involved in this initiative, and I congratulate all of the awardees today who have been awarded, and especially Mr. Judge, who invited me to have this award. I thank for this award, and I accept with all humility, and thank you again to all of you. Thanks.
Thank you, Professor. I believe it is a great honor, and go ahead and as we move forward, just want to understand, consumers are one of the key important cornerstones of our society. In your field of education, how have you been actively playing a superb role in making sure that these rights are being practiced and these rights are being vocated to all the students that you have spoken to? Please share a few words on that, sir.
There were few judgments about Consumers Act, and earlier the university systems were not part of the Consumers Act, because education is not a part of consumers. But slowly the Supreme Court and the National Consumer Forum has brought in the ambit of Consumer Act to the students also. So finally, the consumers, students are our best consumers. So to protect their interest, we have safeguarded every tips of the consumers regulations so that the students should not bring grievances, and we should work properly in the light of the Consumers Act and its regulations.
If I may add, Dr. Jagannath, we have the consumer clubs in every school and every college. So not only our students are our consumers, but they're also educators for their parents to be aware consumers. So I think if the organization, Global Chamber, could work out with our state level organizations and ensure that we have a kind of a module for every school to make children aware about the consumer rights, so that they go and tell their parents as to how to exercise their rights, we can really create a huge revolution. And I said earlier also, I have a 5 lakh strong NSS team who can really do a lot of awareness building things. So maybe a module we could standardize, and then we could really replicate it across all the educational institutions.
Consumer awareness program in our universities, so that a lot of experts comes and give us some guidelines on this. So the students are much aware, and they also take this knowledge and expertise to their parents and friends. Today, I will say most of the consumers are aware about their rights. Whether
they're aware, but they don't know how to avail.
That's true.
Implementation is needed.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, Professor, you were saying. Please go ahead.
We have to implement all these consumers' right awareness, so that everyone follow like human rights. So they should also follow the consumer rights.
Perfect. Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Dr. Shalini. And I believe a close association to making sure that usually what is taught in our systems is always history. What has happened at the past, that is what a student learns for today. And I don't think that is a progressive nation that we can be. Either we look to the future or the current thing. That has to be taught it. And every thesis and every research should be on the current happenings of our country and the current learnings that we can do and how currently can we go ahead and implement it. And I think that combination of the government and putting a module towards the universities, that would really enlighten and bring a lot of justice to all our youth, because that's the future. They are the ones who are going to take all of your seats one fine day. And that day, they will be well equipped to making sure that the things are actioned at large. Thank you, Doctor. Going on to the next person, madam.
Yeah. So the next Global Consumers Excellence Awards 2021 goes to Dr. Mulchand Nahar. Heartiest congratulations.
Dr. Mulchand Nahar and his contribution during the last 2 years, especially during the time of COVID-19, has been immense. He is a philanthropist. He's actively contributed to the support and also provided medication to a large number of people across different states of India. He is an active philanthropist and a humanitarian. Unfortunately, Dr. Mulchand Nahar is not with us today. He will not be attending as he is proceeding to go ahead and visit a few of the areas where COVID has really been a terrible situation, and he's helping them. To a wonderful person like that and to a great humanitarian, we wish him all the very best, and we pray that India has so many more people like that who has supported a varied number of people during these times of difficulties. Mr. GK, I think Dr. Mulchand has actually joined us.
In that case, why don't we have his inputs?
I think so.
Yeah, he is there.
Sir.
You can see him.
Can you please unmute yourself, sir?
I think he's not able to do that.
Yeah, I've just tried unmuting him, but unfortunately he's not. It's a requested for unmute.
Yeah, if you can do it from yourself.
No, sir.
That would be great.
I've requested for an unmute, but he needs to enable it?
I think he is not able to, kind of he's trying, but it's not happening.
I know. I so wish.
Maybe we could take him once that is enabled. You can later on maybe somebody can talk to him on phone and tell him.
Yeah.
Shall we move to the next awardee? Perfect,
ma'am. Thank you.
Right. So the next Global Consumers Excellence Awards 2021 goes to Mrs. Savita S, IPS. Heartiest congratulations, Savita.
And thank you for all the dignitaries for bestowing me with this Global Consumers Excellency Award, especially to Honorable Justice Shri Huluvadi G. Ramesh Sir, President of KSCDRC Bangalore, Dr. Shalini Rajneesh Madam, Additional Chief Secretary to Government, Planning and Youth Empowerment and Sports Department, and other dignitaries who are present in this function, and also Shri Georgie Kochu-Purkal, Global Chairman of Global Chamber of Consumer Rights, Dr. Kishore Navandar, National Executive Chairman, and my co-awardees and other guests. It is indeed my privilege to be a part of this online award program. On this special occasion, I take this opportunity to say a few words. In the present circumstances, there are many issues which the general public face, for which they are unable to find an immediate solution. Of course, when some untoward incident happens, in the normal case, they approach the police. Many a time when it involves public money, the citizens are made to run from pillar to post to resolve their issues in order to get their hard-earned money back. With the advent of new technologies and social media playing an important role in every walk of life, it has become much more difficult for law enforcing authorities to have an iron grip on the online transactions. That too, with the present pandemic situation and lockdowns, consumers are allured to do online shopping, for which many a time there is no guarantee that the products are genuine. While using mobile itself, as one browses through, one may come across many ads on various products on a daily basis, for which there is no check on the quality of products. Many a time the consumers are duped, and when there is no return back policy, they will be in a soup. The COVID-19 pandemic has also thrown many businesses out of gear and has also disrupted the women workforce to a large extent. The self-employed women are the most affected, followed by those who are fresh into business or executives in the senior most positions who draw high salaries due to the layoff by many companies. It needn't be work at office alone, but due to lockdowns and people confined between four walls of the house, there is this undue duress on the working women with longer working hours at home, taking care of the children, elders, and household chores, constant financial worries, job losses, to name a few. Being in police department, we have witnessed a rise in crime against women, and there were many elopement or missing cases, notwithstanding the fact that the lockdown prevailed. These crimes continued. The local police, apart from attending to these cases, there were several health issues which everyone had to take care. Creating awareness among the common public was of utmost importance. In this regard, during the past few years, I have tried to organize several programs in police headquarters in the capacity of AIG headquarters for the welfare of the staff, which included physical and mental well-being, health programs, personality development, work culture, lifestyle disorders, and women's issues, and so on. I utilized the lockdown period to also pen my new science fiction novel in Kannada, Galakke Sikka Chandira, meaning moon caught in a web. Being a science graduate of biology background, science in fact is a subject of my interest. However, in police department, police work is rife with stressful situations. depriving one's sleep, long working hours, societal isolation, and continued exposure to negative elements. That's the reason many cops pursue their hobbies, which could be literary field, sports, or other extracurricular activities. Officers also engage in community service and love to make a mark in the society. Many of cops go to the extra length to help others in challenging situations. This is what makes a difference. And along with bridging the gaps of societal isolation, it helps community policing as well as community partnership. Myself, with the flair of creative writing, I did find immense pleasure in nurturing my inborn talent. Right from my school days till today, writing has been my passion, and it has been my asset. It has made me look at things in a different perspective. This, along with my profession, has given me a new vision. My dreams also have been influenced by my career to some extent. In the beginning, I had adhered to social themes with women-centric issues. However, my recent works has revolved around different themes, which are new attempts. Take, for instance, my science fiction novel, Triloka Sanchari Neere. It is an offbeat work revolving on futuristic trend in traffic. The three worlds are this underground metro, roadways, airways, and so on. So policing as a profession has improved my observant nature, I can say. And many of my works are in the midst of being translated to other languages and also used as a reference book for educational institutions. Recently, some of my stories has been translated to Marathi and along with other few writers from India, and it is been proposed to be included as a study material for students of at least 3 universities in Maharashtra. So it is also, I also have many other plans and dreams to bring out many that I envision. It should be quite different and better than my previous works. In a bit to stay connected with the readers, publishing of my literary works, which are out of print for many years, has been on the anvil and will shortly hit the markets. I'm extremely thankful to the organizers of Global Chamber of Consumer Rights for recognizing my works and bestowing on me the Global Consumers Excellency Award 2021. With these few words, I would like to conclude my speech. Once again, thank you one and all. Have a great day. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Mrs. Savita S. IPS. A few words about her. She's a versatile writer and an IPS officer by profession. She has spent over 15 books in Kannada, which includes 4 novels, 5 short story collections, 2 anthologies, collections of articles and travelogues. She has a tenure in the Central Investigation Department and also in the Internal Security Division. She has been conferred with the Chief Minister's Gold Medal for her outstanding contribution to the Police Department. She is also the recipient of the Nada Pramu Kempagowda Award for her literature contribution. So this cop of ours is a police who knows how to write and enlightens us and shares her knowledge throughout her gesture. Madam, we welcome you and we are so honored that you could grace this occasion and receive this award. One question to you, ma'am. Since you were an active police officer, how do you feel that the rights of a person who is sitting in front of you has to be acknowledged, and how do you think the police department has to grow exponentially in understanding this? What are your thoughts about that, ma'am?
Because every citizens have their rights. They have all rights to live in the society. And when there is a grievance, they approach the police. So police, in their case, they have to acknowledge this right and give justice to whatever prevails in that society, I feel. Because when public approach police, they come with a complaint. There will be some issues which they would have faced. And police departments are for that purpose. Police stations have been established to give justice to the common man, to attend to the investigations and prevent crime. So in that way, police department also cater to the consumers, I feel.
Thank you so
much. I will just add a a few lines. Savita, it's really matter of great pride that you are serving Karnataka, and you are member of the civil services, and on the top of it, a woman achiever, very high achiever. I have a request to you, which I'll follow up even after this program, that one, people have to have a changed perception of police being a citizen-friendly service.
Yes,
People who commit crime, they should be afraid of police and not others. Whereas the general perception is, that, oh, going near the police means you are
come with a
stuck.
prejudiced mind. They come with a prejudiced mind.
You're gone. You will be stuck. You will be in trouble, and that's one way of looking at it. Secondly, as you pointed out, the crime against women is one of the very big area of concern, particularly when we look at our sustainable development goals at the United Nations level. We have to bring it down, and there is no other way but to empower the women with the knowledge of laws, with the knowledge of how to get their their rights, and how to empower themselves in terms of getting the right connections, whom to approach, how to approach, to see that they get justice. And also I found that in Karnataka we had a movement where the new illiterates were taken to the police stations to get friendly with the police, and then just the fact that they know the police officer will not allow another person to exploit him. So he gets empowered suddenly, oh, I know the police inspector, I can take up the issue with him or her. So that's where I think my husband is the additional chief secretary of the Home Department, and I would love to work with you. You are a writer, because that's a very rare combination, to be a police woman and a writer. It's a wonderful
and a writer.
And we must make use of it for the citizens at large. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Dr.
So, shall we go to the next awardee?
Thank you.
The next award goes to Dr. Lata Damle. Congratulations.
I'm just trying to find Dr. Second. Thank you. Dr. Lata Damle is a founder and the chief scientific officer at the Atrimed. She is an Ayurvedic physician with a postgraduate degree in MD in plant pharmacology and fellowship in the field of medicinal chemistry. She has founded the Atrimed Biotech in Bangalore, which is dedicated to carry out high-end research in drugs and discovery in the field of psoriasis, arthritis, acne, wound healing, anti-aging, and cancer biology. She has been awarded the Super Achiever Woman Entrepreneur Award by the DMA in 2020 and the Bhumika Talent by the Kannada Sahithya Wing. Her company is the Elevate winner by Karnataka government and the Big Grantee by the BIRAC from the Government of India. Dr. Lata Damle, thank you, and we welcome you to this prestigious award.
Thank you very much for this honor. I thank GCCR and the dignitaries here for honoring me with this Global Consumers Award. Of course, any recognition is a shot in the arm. It makes you more confident and feels that what you're working at is the right way to proceed. And we are at a stage where India is looked up for many of its inherent qualities. Like yesterday, we were done with International Yoga Day. Similarly, this is the right time to improve our scientific rigor and provide the world with the internationally acceptable standards of evidences with our medicines, actually, which is what extremely lacking, and which is what is my motto. In fact, one of our product, in fact, few of them are on the pipeline, are the first ones to be approved by EU regulations and being available all over Europe now. So we have so much potential. The problem with us, of course, the research is also going on at various fields. In the pharmacy department, you have the research going on with some plant molecules. Similarly, somewhere clinical trials are going on. But the problem is interconnection of the transdisciplinary processes is not happening. And finally, we are not able to get a medicine which can reach the end user. Everything gets dropped at some kind of publications. And this is where I started in collating all the departments, including I have developed a molecular library, which is the Asia's largest virtual library of plant molecules. We have 408,000 molecules, which can be tested against more than 2,000 proteins of disease targets. So, and we also have a synthetic chemistry where most of these medicinal compounds, which are from an endangered plant, can be synthesized and given to the healthcare system. So currently, we are also actually having some clinical significance, of medicines like venom neutralization. Because we were planning to approach the government, in fact, for trial on this. This is snake venom neutralization using a small molecule compounds. Probably Dr. Shalini, Rajneesh will be of help in future. Similarly, are many other compounds. For example, COVID research, we have tied up with Warwick University for a phase 3 trials, and with a novel antiviral strategies, so that we can equip ourselves for any future pandemic. So that's what my work, and I'll continue to work in the same rigor. Thank you very much for honoring with this award.
Thank you, Dr. Lata Damle. Sorry. Thank you, Dr. Damle. It has been an honor. Just want to kind of understand, since you are in the field of medicine, since you have been an active contributor to, especially during our grievances time of COVID, where so many people have actually gone ahead and tried to seek medicines, oxygen cylinders, and all these things. How does the role of understanding consumers' rights play a significant role in the field of medicines and healthcare department? What are your thoughts on that?
In fact, it is very significant in the field of medicine, role of consumer. The problem with the medicine and healthcare department is the knowledge gap.
True.
The knowledge gap makes the consumer feel less privileged than the doctor. Whatever the person on the other side is supposed to be believed. Most of the time, consumer doesn't have he's at a vulnerable state where he cannot question the doctor or whoever who is treating him, whether he's doing the right, treatment. So this is why, of course, there are jokes about Google, understanding of medicines and medical aspects. But I would say that's more important. The patient has to be more aware. It is the duty of the doctor actually to dispel the myths if he has any, but you can't actually curb that the patient is less informed. So it actually, definitely the quackery and many other, false claims, especially that, overgrown with during COVID times. And I was fortunate to be associated with the GCCR in spreading a lot of COVID visual messages in dispelling those myths actually. So I think this is the high time where consumer has to be given the right information and awareness. We need to have really good amount of strategy to make them not fall prey for many of false claims, including the treatment or improving of immunity and such kind of hoax messages.
Thank you very much.
Especially from the WhatsApp University.
True.
Yeah.
We have access to social media, so every other person posts his views, and that is considered to be, ultimate.
But I think that's more coming from you as an authentic reply or the information.
Sorry, sir, I did not get you.
I said somebody like you need to authentic that, whether this news
sir,
is
yes.
actual
That's what
truth
is.
or it's a fake.
Actually, if I may suggest, Dr. Lata, with the kind of immense knowledge that you have, we have something like a fake news buster platform in the COVID, information website. So this fake claim in terms of nutrition or treatment or things like that, I think if scientists like you can collaborate, it can be of a great help. People are claiming to fame like anything. You start the TV in the morning and you'll have, you'll gain 6 inches or lose 6 inches,
Right.
height or weight, and so on and so forth. So it's a really a mad world. Nobody's there to challenge, and it's an expensive affair also. The kind of ads that you will get to see even in the papers, nobody's there to authenticate. As Secretary Health, I had the privilege of integrating both the Ayurvedic as well as the allopathy streams into our policy, health policy. And we have provided for the transdisciplinary integration of research and authentication in the Rajiv Gandhi Health University. So we are encouraging all our Ayurveda or Ayush practitioners to do the clinical studies, create the database, and then publish papers, and then move on to spreading that giving it to a larger extent. And then you have so many units where, like Himalayas and others, they are promoting it in a large way. Even for COVID, they come in for a large way. So there is I personally feel that Ayurveda and our traditional medicine has such huge strengths, like yoga, as you rightly said. It's time that we promote it and we also break the myths. And that is very important, I think, from the global consumers' rights perspective. It's very important to break that myth. Let's see how we can work together. Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am. I just want to add one thing. Many of the claims and things are, backed by research, have turned actual research into techno marketing, actually, which we need to understand and make people aware of these things. Most of the techno marketings, suggest these kind of some words of research. Research has become a cliche, actually. So that needs to be understood by the consumer, and of course, by giving them more awareness about that.
Thank you, Dr. Lata. I think the fight against the Google University or the Google, Ask Dr. Google should be stopped, and we should take in the right research from the credentialed people like you. Thank you so much, Dr. Lata. Dr. Shalini, Rajneesh, thank you so much for providing the Excellence Awards to all the profound members. I would just like to ask Dr. Mulchand if he is available to come back online and say a few words. Dr. Mulchand, are you there, sir? Dr. Mulchand? I believe when he comes on, I think when he comes online.
No, I think he's there, but he's not able to, kind of unmute still.
No, he did unmute in between, but then I think that was too noisy for us. But anyway, Mr. GK or Mr. Kishore, if you can give him a call, I will proceed to the next one. But in case if he comes back online to say a few words, I would love to.
Yep. Sure.
Thank you so much for each and every one of you to actually being part of this, especially to the award winners. It is a great field that you guys have established credentials, and you have been honored. And that honor is a symbol of your accomplishments, but also a beacon and probably a gun around your neck to make sure that you guys go out and do the best and continue to do the best without stopping the excellent service for the consumers. I would now request a gratitude memento to be presented to both our dignitaries on behalf of the GCCR. Requesting Lieutenant Colonel Ganga Datta to appreciate Honorable Justice Huluvadi Ji Ramesh.
Good morning, sir. I am honored to present this memento on behalf of GCCR. Kindly accept, sir. Hello.
Thank you, madam, for the invitation.
Hello.
Yeah, sir is just, sir, can you be a little louder, sir? Thank you.
Yeah, please. Thank you for having conferred on me the honor of being here with you. And apart from that, the presentation. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Madam Gangadatta. Madam, would you like to share any few words with us, please?
Hello.
Yeah, Madam, would you like to share anything else with us, ma'am?
Yeah, nice to know each and every one in this August gathering, and I will contribute my whole soul, time and effort to fulfill all the consumer rights grievance, and I am with everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now requesting Mrs. Geeta Malika Arjunan to appreciate Dr. Shalini Rajneesh, I.A.S. Madam Geeta, could you please unmute yourself, please?
Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. And I feel that Dr. Shalini Rajneesh has done a stupendous job of, especially on the forum of consumer rights. And I've also written on that we have to incorporate this as a syllabus in the school. If this is done, I mean, you know, everyone will be aware, not only the students, but also the teachers, as well as, you know, it will go around spreading, because everyone has to teach, and what has to be taught should also be incorporated. So I really feel that I have also written in your personal chat, madam, that, you know, this is such a good thing. You know, I have also been a party of this, especially online. It is very, very difficult to catch them, you know, when you transfer things. So I just hope and pray that this becomes part of the curriculum for all states, as well as the national ICSE, as well as CBSE. Thank you once again for being there, and I hope and I pray that I will be able to do justice to the role that I've taken up. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to all the wonderful people who've actually been present here today. With this, we come to the end of our virtual award function. I would like to once again take this beautiful opportunity to say a great word of gratitude and thanks to God, who's actually given us a privilege to all come together. We all are consumers, and I think that is the first important thing that we need to understand. Whether we hold a position, whether we are privileged people in the society, at the end of the day, I'm sure each one of us has definitely faced the factor that I have bought something or I have redeemed a service, but I have not received the right justice. And each of you in your exemplary careers or in the work domains that you guys have done exemplary well. I am so grateful that Honorable Justice Huluvadi Ji Ramesh, who has enlightened and guided us with a so detailed foundation of what things could have been accomplished and where the government is looking to monitor and hold accountable those people who are not practicing the rights of these consumers. We thank you, Justice Huluvadi Ji Ramesh, and to our special guest, Dr. Shalini Rajneesh, I.A.S. Madam, your works are simply remarkable. What you have achieved in a short span of time, and especially using a valuable integration between technology and project management, you accomplished what very few could have accomplished, I think, around the global world. And that is a kind of thing that needs to be replicated across India. We thank you, and we are honored that you have been part of this program and you have done the awards for all these wonderful, exemplary people. On behalf of the GCCR and the organizers, I would once again like to thank Dr. Sandeep Marwa, who has received an award from us for his exemplary work in the field of arts and also to media. May his works prolong and make sure that he enlightens and brings justice to a lot of consumers. We thank Dr. Jagannathan Patnaik, who is an exemplary academician who has done extremely well in his field. And through his works, through his knowledge, I think he is the one who is going to bring a lot of students into this world. And through his blessings, I'm sure the world is going to understand what is going to be accountable and how we have people. We have to understand what needs to be the best done for us. Dr. Mulchand Nahar, who is with us, but unfortunately, I think he's quite busy. But his work of humanitarian rights and his work of helping humans through medications, through his pharmaceutical company, has been an excellent role during this time of COVID. Mrs. Savita IPS, the IGP of Bangalore, someone who has done exemplarily well for herself, being a police officer, absolutely strict and sturdy, but also a writer and a poet by the end of the day. Someone like that at the helm has definitely made sure that she's brought justice to womanhood and also a proud mother to all of us. Thank you, Ms. Savita SIPS. And to Dr. Lata Damle, thank you so much, ma'am. Your contributions in the field of medicine are exemplary. Today or tomorrow, India has to be recognized as the secondary medicine of Ayurveda foundations. And I'm sure all your research and all your supports to entertaining and making sure consumers receive the right in the healthcare department is going to be well appreciated. To all the organizers of GCCR, we thank you. Mr. Georgie Kochparikal, Dr. Kishore Navdar, and Lieutenant Colonel Gangadatta, Mrs. Geeta Malikarjun. Each of you have an immense task, and it is quite important that you carry the beacon and ensure that GCCR travels across India and to the global communities around the world and showcase the fundamental pillars of what our Honorable Justice and Dr. Shalini has said, making sure that the consumers understand, educate themselves, and give them a weapon of their rights. With that, I close today's session. Thank you everyone for coming and being patient enough to being part of this.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
One and all.
Thank you.
Thank you for preparing the program and wish you all the best. Program was very successful. And
thank you so much, sir.
Mr. Georgie also has taken a painstaking effort to organize a global function, which is, of course, nowadays is more important. The global awareness and also universal human rights are the most important things to be taken. Now, individual is to be considered as a universal man, not as either Indian or any other man, whether a man or woman. We are secular and letting our rights for constitution, human rights, also universal human rights are recognized rights of the individual, and every government of every state, every of this universe has got a responsibility towards the consumer, and that responsibility has to be discharged both by judiciary and by the executive. Painstaking, and also the effort should be made to see that immediate relief is extended to the individual, so that the amount of money invested in purchasing the goods or materials or services should be very qualitative, and the amount should carry the proper weight. Unnecessary delay will cause unnecessarily hardship to the individual consumer. Consumers should be respected and honored by the public at large, and also organizations, private or public, especially government, though the government and the other organizations are at it. Ultimately, we as the educated people have to create awareness among the children of the world at large to recognize the rights, and unless we inculcate the knowledge of the consumerism and the spurious goods which are being manufactured and necessarily even in the case of a medical health, medical education or medical negligence or the services which are products which are being extended by the manufacturer to the service each individual is of utmost importance. The quality is should be hallmark in extending a very relief to the every individual. Every person is a consumer. And just a minute. Only 1 minute I will conclude it. And it is more the very program which is organized. It will become a more renowned and it will be of world importance and the public importance, of which we have to take with our responsibility to educate the children and people at large through the organizations, through the legal authorities, through the schools and colleges, and also by the government at large. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I think your words
Thank you so much.
enlighten us.
Thank you so much.
I take this
Thank you.
opportunity to thank each one of you, especially our justices and also our Dr. Shalini madam, and all the prominent, awardees. Your presence was very great, and hope we will see at the earliest after this COVID pandemic situation. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you. Thank you, each one of you. Thank you.